Hi guys, both Reform UK and the Tories tried to claim victory this weekend as the government said that they would go ahead with a full national inquiry into grooming gangs. Now, the Prime Minister had initially rejected calls, rightly saying that the findings of the J report had to be implemented. But the Home Secretary Yvette Cooper asked Baroness Casey to conduct an audit on the current scale of the gang-based exploitation, and she advised the government to initiate a full inquiry. However, this isn't good enough, according to Tory MP Mel Stride when he appeared on the Laura Kuenssberg show on Sunday. Have a listen to this.
It's a very late decision. It should have happened far, far earlier. We've been calling this for many, many months, and Kemi Badenoch and Chris Philp and others have been derided by the Prime Minister, actually just hopping on some kind of far-right bandwagon and dog whistle politics and all the rest of it. That was the wrong response. But this is just another example of the Prime Minister being pressurised principally by us into U-turning, in the same way as we've seen with the winter fuel payment means testing U-turn as well. And I'm afraid being a cork on the tide is not a good way to run our country. We really need somebody that's going to have more of a grip.
What, like Kemi Badenoch? Okay. So the Conservatives are claiming some sort of victory here, saying, well, look, just like the winter fuel allowance, the government has U-turned because of pressure from us. Okay, what evidence do you have to back up that claim? When it comes to the winter fuel allowance, the government have U-turned because of pressure from the public at the ballot box. They thought they'd get away with it. They got punished, and they've decided to U-turn on that. Now, let's hope that there are U-turns when it comes to PIP and benefits, but we'll have to wait and see. But back to this. Now they're saying, the Conservatives are saying, well, they U-turned because of our pressure. But the Conservatives didn't give a crap about the victims, in the same way as Reform UK don't give a crap about the victims, because both of those parties would have been demanding that the findings of the J report be implemented. Now, the J report was a wide-ranging inquiry conducted by the government, by the Conservative government at the time, and the findings were not implemented by the Conservative Party when they were in government. So why did they carry out an inquiry if they were not willing to implement the measures? And then why were they demanding another inquiry after that? The same with Reform UK. When it comes to Reform UK, they were jumping on a right-wing bandwagon. They didn't care. They were not calling for the J report to be implemented to punish perpetrators of other types of abuse. They were focusing only on the Pakistani gangs. That's their entire focus. They didn't give a crap about anyone else. They wanted to focus on that, and they wanted a public inquiry into the Pakistani grooming gangs. That's it. They didn't care about the implementation of the J report. They didn't care about other victims. It was only about that particular demographic. So what else can we describe it? What other way can we describe it apart from jumping on a right-wing bandwagon? And then, of course, Kemi Badenoch saw there's an opportunity for me to score a few political points. I'll do the same. She met with victims of grooming gangs, but her party refused to implement the measures, the findings of the J report. So I don't know why the government decided to conduct another investigation, another audit, which resulted in a recommendation of an inquiry. I think it would make more sense to implement the existing measures, the existing findings, and then decide if it's necessary to have another public inquiry. But, of course, the Conservatives and Reform saw a political opportunity to punish the government, and they jumped on it. They don't care about the victims. The Tories certainly don't, because why didn't they implement the findings of the J report? And Reform certainly don't, because they're completely ignoring other victims unless those victims are the ones of the Pakistani grooming gangs. So while an inquiry is important, it's going to cost a lot of money. It's going to, unfortunately, drag victims in front of a tribunal where they're going to have to give out evidence again. But it's important that the findings this time are implemented. Otherwise, we're going to see another rerun of this disaster. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot.